Ashleigh Barty, who's going to go first over here?
Ashley, how do you sum that one up?
Tough one. I think I started well and I was sticking to how I wanted to play, and then in the second set I think my serve let me down. I let Alison get back into the match too many times, having looks at second serves, and overall I didn't play a poor match, but when I needed to, or when the big moments were there, Alison played better today, so it's a tough one to swallow, but lost to a better player.
Alison, not looking too far ahead, sorry you lost today, but you could potentially lose your #1 ranking if Pliskova gets to the semi-finals. You've fought to get there. How will you fight to get back if Pliskova gets the #1 spot?
Oh, it's out of my control. We've done absolutely everything. I'm so proud of myself and my team over the last 6 to 8 weeks. We've had an incredible trip, incredible couple of months, and yeah, I mean that's out of my control now. If Carolina plays some good tennis and gets to that, then she'll deserve it. It's no fighting that. But if that's the case, then it won't really change what we do. We'll go home, rest a little bit, and then head down again, work hard, and head over to the States.
Alison is in new territory for her. How would you describe her overall game and the way she's playing right now?
Oh, I think you just have to look at her stats on the grass court to show just how dangerous she is. She's very comfortable on the grass court. It complements her game well, and I think today when in the crunch moments, she came up with her best tennis, and I knew that was, she when her back's against the wall, she plays really well typically, and she did that today. So all credit to her, and she deserves to be in the quarterfinal. She played a great match today.
She might be playing Serena Williams next. What sort of shot would you give her in that match?
Oh, I think regardless of who she plays next, whether it's Serena or Carla, I mean, she's got a great chance.
Ash, were you surprised or maybe even frustrated that the things that you do so well in your game plan, she seemed to kind of handle the slice, your heavy forehand, she seemed to kind of have an answer for everything, and there didn't seem to be many holes you could kind of poke in her game? Like, is that how it felt for you up the other end of the court?
Yeah, there aren't many holes in her game, full stop. I think today, and at times when I really needed to back myself, the execution wasn't quite there. But overall, it's been a hell of a trip. Disappointed right now, and obviously it's a tough pill to swallow. But in the same breath, it's been an incredible few months. New ground for me here at Wimbledon. This is the best that we've done. So very proud of what we've been able to achieve.
We're back.
Ash, obviously it's a busy day today, but were you surprised to be on court 2 again as the world #1?
The scheduling's out of my control. I'll play on any court that I'm scheduled on.
I was going to ask a similar question, but a lot of the women behind the game, Azarenka's come out and said about scheduling as a whole at Grand Slams that they think women don't get the same sort of opportunity and profile to be on the biggest courts. And there's a stat also doing the rounds that on Manic Monday, it's never been the case. There have been more women's matches on centre than the men's. I was just wondering whether you think the women are given the same platform. I know it has nothing to do with your result per se today, but whether you think they do get the same platform as the men at slams.
Oh, I think that obviously scheduling is very difficult. There are so many incredible matches that all the fans and all the people want to watch and players want to be a part of. But for us, the tennis court's the same size. The surroundings change, yes, and they're a little bit different. But no matter what court you schedule it on, it shouldn't matter how you approach the match or play, and it certainly doesn't for me. Court 2 is a beautiful court here. We played on that court earlier in the rounds and for a doubles match as well. So it's a beautiful court, and I enjoyed my time out there.
How were you mentally today? Did you still feel focused? Was it the same kind of game for you inside your head as it always was, or did you feel you were drifting?
Oh, I think every single tennis match is different. Every day you wake up feeling different. But for me, I knew what areas that I needed to try and focus on, and the execution wasn't quite there today. And obviously disappointed at times when I let the match slip a little bit. But also proud of the fact that what we've been able to do over the last 8 weeks, the consistency that we've brought day in day out, has been next to none. I think that's one of the best things about this trip.
Ashleigh, it has been, an amazing time for you, and world #1, having the Slam title. Would you have done anything different, because it's a lot, going on, and you got to the second week and different ball game. If you had to see one thing that you would have done different, what would that be like?
Nothing. Absolutely no regrets. I planned. We've planned, you know, our days and prepared as best that we can. And today wasn't my day. I wasn't, you know, I didn't win a tennis match. It's not the end of the world. It's a game. I love playing the game. I do everything in my power to try and win every single tennis match, but that's not the case. So I think, you know, today it's disappointing right now, but, you know, give me an hour or so and we'll be all good. And, you know, the sun's still going to come up tomorrow.
Ashleigh, we know how tough the circuit is. There's so many fabulous players, but you've had this wonderful year, and we know you work really hard and you have a great team. But if you could tell us what are the key factors that have enabled you to break out this year?
Doing all the simple things well. It really is that for me. I know that when I practice well, when I prepare well, when I train well, that's where all of my confidence comes from. When I know that I've done everything that I possibly can off the court and prior to the matches, then I can go out there when I play and enjoy it, compete, you know, and just really, really have fun out on the court. And some days it will be, you know, unbelievable tennis. Some days it's not going to be so good, but I think it's finding the enjoyment in both, and really trying to find a way to figure your way through a match. You know, and today it wasn't meant to be, but it's been, you know, a hell of a trip.
Has there been anything different about having the number one next to your name? Has it felt any different?
I think for me personally, no, I haven't lived my life any differently, but there's a little bit more attention and a few more of you guys here in the press rooms. But look, I mean, for me, nothing's really changed. I try and go about it the same way, the right way, the way that I believe works for me and my team. And I think it's been a really, really positive couple of months for us. And yeah, I mean, if we can hold on to the number one ranking, it'd be great. But if we don't, it's not going to really change anything that we do between now and our next event.
Playing singles and doubles at this tournament, does that affect your energy levels or your performance? And do you think you'll keep playing doubles and singles at Grand Slam tournaments?
Yeah, I think it's finding the balance. And I think a lot of the time it's not just in Grand Slams, but on you know, weeks during the tour as well. If it's all about making sure that my body's healthy and my body's right. And I think when my body is healthy and when I'm feeling good, I would love to play doubles, and I love to continue to play as much doubles as I can, but sometimes you really have to listen to your body and peg it back a little bit to try and give yourself the best chance in singles. But yeah, for me, I love to try and integrate them both. I learn a lot from doubles and I learn a lot from singles as well. So I think they go hand in hand. They help each other out. But I certainly love playing with Fika this year.
Who said since your success in recent weeks, they've had an increase in numbers with boys and girls wanting to be tennis players. Ticket sales for the Fed Cup in Perth are amazing. How does that make you feel, and what does that mean to you to know the impact that you're having on your sport in Australia?
Yeah, it brings a smile to my face. It really does. But it's not just me. I think there are a lot of other girls and guys on the tour that are bringing in interest back into our sport. And I think, you know, it's been a privilege for me to be able to try and lead from the front. But in a sense, I'm just trying to go out there and go about the business my way, and work with my team and enjoy every minute.
Last time you played her, you also lost, but it was a completely different situation for you. Any thoughts on that?
Let's hope it's not 3 times in a row. You don't like that one.
Tell me about the Disney movies.
Well, it's brought a bit of interest, hasn't it? Yeah, I think, look, it was, you know, a way for us to enjoy it and try and bring a little bit more, you know, energy, I suppose, into press. And I love Disney. I watch it all the time. But yeah, look, it's just been a bit of fun for all of us, and you guys caught on. I think the 3rd time around, but it's been a bit of fun.
As you mentioned about your mindset and your recovery after a loss like this, we've had a number of players come in over the last week or so that have been pretty disturbed by their losses. How do you keep positive after a situation like this, and who are the people you have behind you to help you to do that?
Yeah, I mean, it's incredibly tough right now, but in saying that, it's also only a tennis match. I try and do everything that I can to win the tennis match, but if I don't, the sun's still going to come up tomorrow. You know, I have an incredible team of people around me who love me and support me and are with me through this journey. So it's, you know, it's easy to go back now and chat to them about it. There are so many things that we, you know, wish that we'd done and the what ifs, but that's not what we try and focus on. We focus on the positives, and the positives of what have been over the last 2 months, over the last 6 months, and for this year it's been incredible. Today wasn't my day, but that's not going to define us as a team. It's not going to define me as a person. And I think that's the most important thing.
Ash, I was just wondering with your serve, from the first set to the second set, it seemed to have slowed up, and also you struggled to get your first serves in. Was there something that happened? Was your arm sore, or can you explain what happened there?
I just missed a few. I think, obviously I started really well and was able to hit my spots, and then in the second set I gave Alison too many looks at second serves. I know that my percentage was down, but I wasn't missing serves by too much. They were small margins, but a miss is still a miss, and it gives her an opportunity to have a look at a second serve. So I think, disappointing. That's probably one of the parts of my game today that I'm disappointed with the most. But in saying that, it was just a bad serving day at times. Not always. It was at times where it was still there as well, but not to be.
Ash, last year during the US Open Series, you had a pretty solid, good set of tournaments there. I mean, as you, I guess, go home and rest, I'm sure that's the main priority. But what do you think you need to do over the next few weeks to kind of get yourself ready for another strong US run?
Yeah, rest and recover, and I think it's also important to really celebrate what we've been able to achieve over the last 8 weeks. It's been an extremely positive time for me and my team, and go and rest and recover with the family back home, and then switch focus back to the hard courts in the US, which I love that time of year. I love getting back over to the summertime there, and I have some really good memories from last year. So we go back, we knuckle down and train again, and then we go again.
As you've said in the past, you celebrate with a couple of beers. Do you commiserate in a similar sort of way, do you?
There might be a beer or two. We'll have to wait and see.
Okay.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
You know what?